into the cloud. And again, this is all right. Welcome, everybody. We are super excited. We have got quite the organizations here, or companies, sorry. We've got Infinite Shine with Sarah Brinston. And we have Extreme with Krista and Jared Tolley.
Hey guys.
Yay. And then we have Shazam. All right, so tonight, this phone call is all about dating. See who that is? I think it was Danette. I muted you. Oh, I muted you again. Okay, so tonight is all about dating. What's really fun is like this can be bloopers, right? We can go back and watch bloopers on Zoom. So raise your hands for those of you again. Who wants to fill your date books? Rock on. Yay. Excellent. Who wants to make some serious cash? Who's in it to make money? Okay. Who's in it to have fun? I'm like, we all better be raising our hand. Who's in it to just get out of the house every once in a while? All right, so you guys, the one thing that I really want to encourage you is that no matter the reason you're in this business, we're in a party plan business, right? People need your product. We reach 1% of the population. 1%. And so there are more people who don't know how to get in touch with Tupperware than those people who do know how to get in touch with Tupperware. Okay. And so you have that power, if you will, to help them. The other thing I want you to think about is when you're dating parties, right, or get-togethers or events, do you ask them to date a party with you or for you?
Good question.
Very good question.
You can answer. Oh, Shannon, with. Why? Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope my dogs don't bark. Why? Why with you versus for you?
Because it's not for me, it's for them.
Ah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Exactly right, you guys. Right? And I'll put myself out there. Years ago, I used to always say, oh my gosh, will you date a party for me? Versus, oh my gosh, Sarah, I am so excited what Tupperware has to offer. Would you like to earn about $940 worth of product?
Yeah. What do I have to do?
Can I share some more with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you see the difference versus me saying, Sarah, you know what? I'm really working on trying to fill my date book. So would you mind maybe sort of doing a party for me?
Yeah, it kind of feels like a guilt trip when you do it that way.
It sounds really wimpy, doesn't it, you guys? Now that might be a slight exaggeration on how people say it, right? But we do it. So couple of things before we go into our trainers' word choices and tips and ideas, you guys. I want to encourage you to think of 5 people. I want you to think of 5 people that you have not talked to about having a get-together with. 5 people you have not talked to about having a get-together with. And I want you to write them down. The other thing I want you to think about is you and your business, you get to offer solutions to people. You get to offer solutions to their daily issues in the kitchen. So whether it is meal prep time, whether it is pulling the family together around that kitchen table for a fast meal as they're going in 5 different directions, whether it is they just need some fun time, right? That could be a daily struggle. They just need some fun time. They need some girl time. You offer that. Okay? So you offer solutions, plain and simple. So what we're going to do first is I had asked a couple of people first to share, and I'm super excited. I'm going to first start with Shannon. And I asked Shannon to share some dating inspiration and dating tips because can we call a duck a duck? Life happens, right? Life happens to us. And when I say life happens, sometimes our date books can be full and we're going, woo, yay. We're on top of the world. And sometimes date books can become empty. And it can be really challenging to get on the phone or to reach out to people or to go out and about and look for business. And it's easy sometimes to walk away. Would you agree or disagree? And it's really simple to walk away from a business when the date book is empty. However, two things will help. Number one, knowing why you do this business. Why do you do it? What's that inspiration? What's that passion? That's going to pull you through those moments and times when business is not going simple. And the second thing, fill your date book back up, and I guarantee you won't want to quit. Okay, so Shannon is going to share that her journey and her tips and whatever comes out of her mouth that she wants to, because I said you get free range. And so please put your hands together for our executive manager at Shazam, Miss Shannon Kennedy.
Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Like the golf clap, Shannon.
Yeah, no golf cap. That's good. So it's okay, Peanut. Sorry, my dog just all of a sudden like went up. But anyway, okay, so well, I'll get kind of real here. Not many people, well, many know things, but many don't. But I was a director with Shazam at one time, and I had life had happened to me, and different things in life had occurred that caused me to have to take a step back, and more things happened with that, and I was ready to quit. I was ready to just say, forget it all. But thankfully, I have some very, very, very great friends in Tupperware and mentors that were like, no, you're not quitting. And then wouldn't let me go or do any of that, and kept after me and everything. So my date book was completely empty. Didn't know what to do. I'm still finding myself struggling here and there at times because of things that had happened, but I'm starting to refine myself again. So when my date book was empty, I've tried all kinds of things over the 5 years that I've been doing Tupperware. I've done the, highlight your calendar on the days you want to work, pick those days, go through your calendar, figure that out and everything like that. Well, when you have a full date book and you're like all excited and happy, sometimes you still don't like showing your full date book because then you're afraid the people are going to be like, oh, she's too busy. I don't want to date with her. I don't want to do this. I don't want to take up more of her time. And then you have the same effect when it's completely empty. You don't want to just open up your calendar and say, here are the dates I have, and you have a blank calendar because it looks horrible. Mm-hmm. So I tried that route. I didn't really like it. It did not fit me at all. I then went to the dating card. I drew a blank on what it was called, but where you would take the sheet, and on one side of the sheet you'd put your closest days that you wanted to work, and they got a bigger gift if they dated on those, and on the back you had other dates. And that still didn't feel right to me, and I felt like I was wasting time trying to get dates. I also felt like when I was talking with people, I couldn't be natural. I felt like at one point I was kind of hounding them to pick a date when I said, okay, I have this Thursday and next Friday open. Does one work for you? And then they like, no, that doesn't work. Okay, how about the following Tuesday and Wednesday? No, that doesn't work. And then I feel like I'm just sitting here begging them to put a date in my calendar. So what I started doing was I got these index cards here, and I can't really probably see them here, but I have 7 of them. And they're all days that I want to work. They're no longer than 15 days out. Some of them have stars on them. They all have a day and a time that I'm willing to do. And some are mornings, some are evenings, some are afternoons, all of that on there. Excuse me. And now when I'm talking with them and I get them to say yes, that they want to have free and enjoy and everything like that, I say, great, here are my open dates. Pick one that has a star on it. You'll get an extra gift from me. And I found now that what they're doing is they're taking my group of cards, they're putting all the stars together, which are usually the closest ones and the ones I want to work, and they're aiming towards those stars. And it's starting to fill my date book up more. I've even found it so much helpful at vendor events too, when I'm dating on the spot. And yet you have other people at the table, so you don't want to give too much attention here and you got to be there and everything too. So now when I got it, or even at a party, it works both ways. I like to meet with them one-on-one and talk with them and everything. Once I know they're in it, I give them my note cards and I say, okay, you go ahead and look at these while I go ahead and help this person and I'll come back to you. So then they're busy there looking at that stuff. And then I have them write their name, their address, their phone number, what theme they want, because my list of themes is there too. Sorry. Okay. They write all of that down, and then I can take it and file it into like the month that they had their party. Mm-hmm. So when my date book's empty again, or whatever reason, hopefully I don't go through that again, but let's get real, it might happen again. But I can go back to those and I'll know who it was that day that had a party this time, or I know, okay, well, they just had a party 2 months ago. I don't want to call them. I want to wait another year. So I just found that this has tremendously helped me a lot. And I noticed that my date book is filling up faster by doing such a thing as that as well. So
excellent. Thank you, Miss Shannon.
You're welcome.
Any questions first for Shannon?
Honestly, for me, I think the one question I would be is how do you prevent yourself from like overbooking so you're not like overwhelmed, I guess, because like I'm pretty new and everything, and I'm like really excited, but at the same time too, I don't want to like overwhelm myself.
So my advice there is the dates on my card are the dates I want to work. So there is not going to be more dates on there than I want to put in for that month. Like my April, I can't fit anything else in between what I have going on, family, personal, everything like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm dating into May right now. And May and June. And my June's even filling up right now just by doing this. Because now my May's starting to get a little bit fuller. Not quite where I want it to be, but it's getting there. But again, you're in business for yourself, not for your hostesses. So don't let them pick your schedule, and then you won't get overwhelmed because you're making your own schedule.
Excellent. Did that help, Christina?
Yeah, that helped, because I know one thing, I got like family that are like, we want to do online because they're out of state, and I'm just like, trying to get a hold of everything, because I've kind of booked a couple parties before my grand opening, so I'm kind of here, there, and everywhere right now. So
yeah, that's awesome though. That's awesome. Truly, you're doing it right, girlfriend.
That's right.
Yep. Parties booked so far. So
what was that?
I have 4 parties booked, and I'm working on a 5th one, and I have 2 possible recruits already. So
yay!
I'm so proud of you.
That's
Great
awesome.
job.
Excellent, excellent. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Any other questions? Okay.
So Shannon, you said for your stars, what kind of gifts are you giving them?
Yes,
like for your star dates?
It all depends. Usually I have a lot of stock right now, so I'm doing surprise packs. if I did not have a lot of stock, I would do things like I even do in my smidget game. I get people to date a party for a breakfast maker. It doesn't have to be anything big at all. And a lot of times I don't even order the breakfast maker up front. I order it on their party. So the hostess is getting the sales credit for that reward as well too. So it's kind of like a win-win. You don't have to have it ahead of time.
So
Mhm.
Shannon,
Yes.
along the same question that Rochelle had, because I do the stars too. And
Mhm.
then what I do, like I've done, I think like it's up to a $30 value. So I've done like things you can't get anymore mostly.
Mhm.
And they don't always know what they are. So I guess what do you like say, oh my gosh, star date, yada da da da. And then when you the day of their party, do you talk to them about what they want and you give them a dollar amount? Because then you ordered on the party, you said?
Well, no, I don't talk to them about what there's an assigned gift usually
Okay.
there. And if I have it on hand, I present it to them. If I don't, I put it into the I just tell everybody about it. They'll be getting this. And I actually pick things that are in the catalog for my hostesses because my items that you can't really get anymore, they're exclusive to my new recruits kind of as a bonus to come join my team because you can't get it any other way. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
kind of how I do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another way you could do it is using your Tupperware card, like your Tupperware Freedom Card, how you get the gift certificates. And if you have enough points, then you can use those too and put
Absolutely.
it towards that party.
Great idea.
And for the newer people who don't have stock or anything like that, getting those dating gifts that you get 4 to a pack that are like $4, I stock up. I usually buy about 5 sets each time a new one comes out, so that when I'm putting together little grab bags, those I paid like $1 for, but they're worth $5.
Right.
And nobody is going to care if you're giving them something huge or something small. You just gave them extra Tupperware.
Mhm. And it's all in the presentation.
Right.
So put it in a cute little gift bag or wrap some curly ribbon around it. And now it's a gift versus a piece of Tupperware.
Mhm.
Right.
And not even the old dating gifts. You'd be surprised how many people will hold a party just so they can have a keychain in their hand.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's just
Or a
like,
smidget.
or
smidgets.
Exactly.
Never sell those smidgets at vendor events. Those are your best dating tool.
Mhm.
Yes. Excellent. Well, again, Shannon, thank you. And, I love how Shannon's rebuilt her date book, number one. But number two, the biggest story or success that I want you guys to take away from her is that she didn't give up. She didn't give up. She didn't walk away. Right? And remember that you're never alone in this business. You've got each other. Right? All right. So then next, we're just going to keep right on moving because we wanted to give you a variety of different tips and ideas. So we're actually going to go to Miss Danette. She's like, oh, yay. No. Miss Danette, she is another amazing success story that she's been in. I can't even remember how long I've been in. So how long have you been in?
9 years.
9 years, right? So Danette's been in 9 years. She has been on a variety of journeys with her business, from building up to reworking it, to rebuilding it back up. Life happens. And she has got such a fun personality that she can sell ice to an Eskimo. And so I just wanted her to share some different things on what she has found to be successful to rebuild that date book or make contacts. And again, I told her she has free range of whatever she would like to share. So let's give it up to Miss Danette Ernst.
Yay! So, I don't know. Where to start? I
I took a break last year and I started again about September, really working my business and that strong focus. And then came January, I just wasn't quite where I wanted to be. I needed that date book fuller. I was doing well every month. I was hitting my manager numbers, but I don't want to be a manager. So that was working, but it wasn't working because it's not what I wanted. So then a month ago, Heidi and I started chatting and working on becoming a director and earning wheels. Yay. That still makes me want to throw up at just saying it, but I'm getting better at saying it. I say it at least once a day. So that is an improvement. And really, we really worked on our word choices and tweaking what are people looking for in that fix in the kitchen and the quick fun, how can you bringing the fun back. And I've really taken the word party totally out of my vocabulary. I'm not partying anymore. I'm either solving a problem that somebody has. I've been doing cooking classes the last 2 weeks, and those have been amazing. So they were just quick, healthy meal choices. And it was just a simple message that I sent to people. I sent over 200 messages just saying, hey, I'm going to do a healthy cooking class. Just wondering if you were interested. Let me know and I'll give you the details. So that was it. It was simple. It was a conversation. You weren't pouncing on people. I wasn't asking people to have parties. I wasn't. So I've held 2 of those, and I've dated 5 parties from there. And I'm just going with that. Today I dated a pizza and beer night, and we're going to, my eye is burning and watering. I'm not crying. Sorry, guys.
We're like, it's okay, Dinesh.
I know, right? It's okay, you can talk. No, I don't know what it is. So I dated a pizza and beer night. So we are going to make 3 different pizzas in the stack cooker and do pizza and beer next week. And that one's dated for next Tuesday. So just those quick, easy, how can we have fun? I mean, and it really, when you decide that it's not about the party, it's definitely a different mindset. But if you have a conversation with people, it really comes out within 3 minutes or within 5 text messages or 5 messages what they're looking for. They either want a night out, they have a problem in the kitchen, they want to be healthy. Who says they don't want to be healthy? If you ask anybody if they want to be healthy, their answer is yes.
Right.
So just those different, it's just a different twist of asking. It's not, do you want to have a party? Do you want to have a party with me? Do you want to do this? I just kept saying get together last night. They were like, so a party. And I was like, no, just a get together. You just invite your friends and we'll just have a get together. And they were like, Danette, a party. And I was like, no, not a party. We're just going to. So, and it worked. So, I mean, and it's back to the fun factor. It's not that stress of I have to have this many parties, I have to do this, because you truly are, you're having fun doing it, because who's not going to have fun making fajitas or doing pizza and beer or whatever the case may be. And you're solving somebody's problem. So that's really what I've switched my mindset around.
Love it. And hello, you get paid to party. You get paid to have a pizza and a beer.
Right.
It's not having a party.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
You're paid,
party.
to get together and have a beer.
That does sound better just coming out of your mouth. That sounds better. Just,
Right.
I mean, Jared said he'll go.
Yay.
What kind of pizzas do you make?
So I don't know what we're going to do yet, to totally be honest with you. I've made the pizzas in the stack cooker. I have done that. But we'll just do the variety and then decide who's there and what they want to eat. And we'll make 3 different ones. They're super easy.
Pizza in the stack cooker?
Yeah. So you just take a box of the Jiffy pizza crust. They're the little square boxes that you buy for 79 cents. You just take those, and if you're gonna do 3, you do 2 pizza crusts. Make them, I think you add like a cup of water, let it sit for 5 minutes, it rises. I split it into 3. You put 1 on the bottom, 1 in the middle, and then you flip your cover upside down, and you do the 3rd one on your cover. So then you stack them all together, put them in the microwave for 2.5 to 3 minutes, depending on your microwave. Pull them out, sauce them, top them, cheese them, and then stack them all back up together, throw them back in for another 4 minutes, and you have 3 pizzas.
Shut up.
I've
Awesome.
never known that before.
I know.
Awesome. You just solved my taste of Tupperware tomorrow. Thank you.
Right? I love it. Better together.
And again, this was a friend of mine, and I know that she loves beer. So I was like, what can I do with beer? Well, pizza. So, I mean, it helps when you know them, but if you don't know them, you just have to have a simple conversation and you'll figure it out.
And ask them.
Yeah.
Ask them. Are you hoity-toity? Well, really don't use that word, but
Are you a snob?
snob? Like, I'm a water snob. I'm a wine snob, right? It's okay. I can say it.
Well, you could do a wine class and teach them how to open the wine bottles with the corkscrew
Yes.
and
we
pair
have
pizza
wine-
with it.
Or cheese.
I've done a wine and
cheese.
cheese
Or
knife,
steak.
and that is phenomenal.
What's
Because
phenomenal?
the cheese knife is the wine and cheese. Because the cheese knife is so amazing too.
We don't
But
have
that's
that no more, Natter.
seasonal, remember?
We don't have the cheese knife no more.
Well, we used it last night. And then, you know what I tell them? Then I tell them that's just the advantage to being a consultant is you get crap whenever you want. I don't really say it that way to somebody's face, but you know what I mean.
You're going to be driving a Trax in no time.
Right?
You are.
Yes.
I did it at my party last night, so now I have to do it.
Yeah.
You told people, Nat?
I know.
I'm so excited.
Now it's a reality, baby.
Now it's
It's
real.
reality.
Now
And my
she's
mother was
really-
in the room.
Now she's really going to go drink a beer.
You told Mama Joni?
Well, I told her before, but I've never said it to her in front of other people.
Ah ha ha. That a
All
girl.
right.
I'm excited for you.
So any questions? We're going to keep moving. So any questions for Danette?
I have one. Danette, when you started it and everything, so did you start doing your own healthy meal class and date from there, or were you asking people to hold their own healthy meal class?
Nope, I've done 2 of my own.
Okay.
And so then it was a quick transition to that they could do their own.
Okay.
They chose to.
Mhm.
And if they want to pick a different recipe, we can do that. If they loved, we did fajitas, and I did them in 2 different areas. So I did the one last night at my house, and I did the one last Thursday in Rochester. Because again, 9 years in, I do have the market to be able to do that.
Right.
So and then I dated from there.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
so exciting.
And we'll get in that tracks together, okay?
Whoop, whoop. You bet we will.
That's right, man. Wheels, baby. We're going to be twin sisters. I don't know. That was going to come out really cute, and it did not.
Twinsies.
There, yeah, sure. Right? Wheelies. You're going to be wheelies. I think I need to go get some wine or beer. All right. So next, poor Christina. She's like, what conference call did I just hop on, man? We have fun on here, right? We have fun. So takeaways from Danette, besides the beer and pizza aspect of it, what was one of your takeaways? Because I saw lots of chats that they love your beer and pizza. Will you post the recipe, Danette? Okay, thank you. Just
I'm
have
super
fun.
excited. She said she's going for tracks in front of people. Woo! Sorry.
All right. So next, I am super excited because again, we've got 2 dynamic business leaders on here. But I was chatting with Sarah earlier today, and I was just asking her some questions because you guys, you know what I expect of you, and many of you, I don't even know, and you're like, what do you mean you expect something of me? But what I expect of you is that you reach out to one another. You reach out to one another and you uplift one another and you cheer each other on. And when you're struggling, it's not a, nah, this is not working. Instead, it's, what can we do today? You know what? Let's pick up the phone together. I know Shannon did that the other night with one of her teammates. And guys, are you always going to get the results? No, you're not. But the matter of the fact is that you did it. So utilize each other to cheer each other on and keep each other moving forward in a positive direction. So I shared that because I was chatting with Sarah today and I was just asking her, right? We reach out to one another all the time and asking tips and ideas and what are you doing for this? And Shannon, you only get a 7-minute pity party with Heidi. That's right. 7 minutes. Get over it. Put your big girl panties on. Let's do this. But we reach out to one another, not only as business leaders, but I reach out to my teammates and be like, all right, this is kind of a struggle here. What's happening? And we muddle through it together. And so Sarah is actually going to share something that I'd never heard of before. And so I'm not going to say anything else because I'm going to destroy it. So I'm just going to seriously turn it over to Miss Sarah Brinston, who is the business leader of Infinite Shine.
So what Heidi and I were talking about earlier is chairs around your kitchen table. How many of you have a kitchen table? I don't see hands. Oh, good. How many of you have chairs around your kitchen table? Show me with your fingers how many chairs you have. Okay, so Sarah has 8. Sarah's in my company. And Christina, how many do you have? You have 4. Okay, so this is what you do. What you do is you call up your friend and you say, hey, Sarah, how many chairs do you have around your kitchen table? And she would tell me 8 because that's how many she has. And, well, you would need 1 chair for you and 1 chair for me. Would you mind if I came over on, see, today is Wednesday, on Friday, and I can make for you some salsa and you can serve some margaritas and I can just show people what's new? Would that work for you? Could you get 6 other girlfriends together and we can have a little margarita and salsa night? And then you have a party. You never said the P word, so Danette's happy. And you have a party because you're gathering people and you get to practice and play with your toys, which is what I call your kit. The other approach is to call it practice parties, especially for the new ones, because you need to practice how to do things. But let's face it, how many of you go to a rally and you learn a new recipe? Like tonight, we learned how to make pizza in the stack cooker. You can turn around and say, hey, I need to practice making beer and pizza. Can you supply the beer and I'll supply the pizza? And I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say yes, because then you can take along the Great Master and show them how to eat cheese healthier. You can make your own sauce if you want to by making it in the Power Chef and adding a little bit of tomatoes and the paste and everything like that. So you can create a very healthy solution that becomes a very fun family-centered thing as well. Mm-hmm. So phrasing it differently and going and thinking outside of the box is really going to help you move forward with your business. And from there, you can say, oh, you know what, Heidi, we need to do this at your house, but we already did salsa here. Why don't we do pizza at your place? Or we can do Death by Chocolate, because I know how much you love chocolate, and do chocolate and wine. And then now you have a party chain. And they don't necessarily even know that this is going on at the time. You can still bring your catalogs and your flyers and things because there's really cool things to share. Another thing that I've done is I took a picture. I can share this with Heidi as well, of everything that you can earn in May. We put it on our table in our studio, and I wrote on there, what would you like? Would you like this for $49? Ask me how. If you post things like that on social media, you need to have a reason for them to contact you. If you give them all the information at once, they have no reason to contact you. It's the same reason if you call and you leave a voicemail on somebody's phone, I never tell them I'm with Tupperware. I would call up Danette and say, hey, Danette, this is Sarah. I have something I want to pick your brain about. Can you give me a quick call back? I'm going to be up till 9 tonight, and I can be free around 10 a.m. Just give me a quick jingle. And Danette's going to go, okay, so she knows my name. It seems like she knows who I am because she wants to pick my brain. Maybe I'll call her back.
Mhm.
And by you not saying it's Tupperware, all it does is it gives them a reason to call you back too, because it doesn't hurt to not identify yourself that way, because if they're not interested in Tupperware, they definitely won't call you back if you tell them you're the Tupperware lady.
Right.
So those are my tips.
Love it. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Any questions for Miss Sarah?
Sarah, do you say that you're with Tupperware on your voicemail then?
On my voicemail, it has it.
Okay.
And then they'll leave me a voicemail and say, okay, call me back. Or they won't. And one of the games I actually play in my parties is I have everybody take out their cell phone and I have them call me. And whoever gets through on my phone first gets like a little tiny treasure or something like that. And then I have them put in their phone, Tupperware lady.
Love
And
it.
so that way they may not remember my name, but they'll always know they have a Tupperware lady in their phone.
Mhm. Or Danette, you could do Tupper Chick.
Yes.
That's her
I'm
brand.
branding myself.
That's her brand, man. Hey, that rhymes too. All right. Excellent. Oh, go
One
ahead.
question quick. Is that then like the phone call thing? Do you do that right away as your icebreaker, Sarah? Or
Yes. If it's, I sometimes do the how well you know the host game. And if we're still waiting for some people to come out, it might be another game that I play. I tend to only do one game, though, a party. But if it's in a new party chain, and you can tell whether or not you really like the people in the room really quickly. So if you want to make sure you always are in contact with them, giving them your phone number is a really good idea.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Are we better together or what, people? Is this
Yes.
fun? This is fun. Right? We're doing this together. All right. So, Miss Krista, we got a few more minutes. I want to pull you in and see if there's anything that you would like to highlight and share about dating. I'm totally putting her on the spot because Krista is one of my best girlfriends. She's like a sister, and we've known each other for years. And she is the business leader of the amazing Extreme Team. And so, Miss Krista.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. And one of the things that Heidi gave me last minute, so I look kind of like
You're beautiful.
death warmed over today, but hey, anyway, so a couple things. One, how many people are you talking to? Because I just asked my team this the other day. And they're like, oh, I talk to one person a day. Okay, well, how long does that take you to talk to one person a day? And they said about half an hour. Okay, so I said, okay, so if you went to a job and you take that half an hour and you take half of what you would make at your job, because it'd be half an hour, what did you make? And that was a real eye opener, because a lot of people are not talking to enough people. Now, I don't know how many people you guys are talking to, but one thing that I would really recommend is I always took a certain amount of time to make those phone calls. I would set myself a timer. And if you have little kids, I would only let them play with certain items when I was on the phone. That was mommy's time. So they got their time and they were begging me to get on the phone.
Yeah.
So, Heidi remembers this. And as they got older, eventually they were like, yeah, Mom, just go to work. So I could get, they got into bigger and more pricey items. But another thing is, so many times we're putting things on Facebook. And there's nothing wrong with putting things on Facebook, but it's an awareness, okay? It was like Sarah was talking about. If you don't give them something to talk to you about, it's, they're not going to. So really check your words, see if it's something that's going to be appetizing. Would you comment on it? And when you're talking to people, what are you talking to them about? What do you like about them? What are you bringing to them? I mean, making sure you know what you're offering them, because that's key also. And then also when you're going back to the billboard, and I'm calling it a billboard because if you think about a billboard, you think of it's awareness. Do you ever call anybody on a billboard? Very seldom do you call anybody on a billboard, right? But I think of Facebook as if you're like messaging people on Facebook, it's kind of like cold calling. And so if you think about what are you saying to them when you're reaching out to them?
Mhm.
Are you offering a service? Because when you're offering a service, they're more up to date with you.
Great, great, great points. Beyond. Excellent. Any questions for Krista? All right. So you guys, that was 40 minutes of great training from amazing trainers. So give it up to all of them again.
Way to go, guys.
So where do we leave from here? What should we challenge them, ladies? Sarah, Krista. What should we have them go do? Should we have them go date a beer and pizza party? Or a pizza and wine party?
Or chair party?
Or a chair party?
I just say go out and date parties.
Chris is
We're
like,
not supposed to date party.
Do something.
We're not
Think about
supposed
what you want. You know, think about, you know, not just in May, but every month. What do you want? Because you have to know what you want to know when you're going to hit that goal. Because if you don't have a goal in mind, you can't hit it.
right.
And I see there's a lot of kids in the Zooms. If you haven't done like a dream board together, because May's a big month and we tend to work a little bit harder in big months because why not? The incentives are huge for both us and the hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I always did, especially when my kids were younger, was I would ask them, what do you want to get out of me working a little bit harder in May? Do you want to be able to go away for a weekend? For my kids, when I first started, they just wanted new bikes. And that was the big thing, that we didn't have to go shop for it when it was on sale.
Right.
So getting your family involved in that way is really helpful, because then they don't mind if you go party because they get something too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, that reminds me, Sarah. I just talked to one of my girls about that same thing. And I said, okay, so she said she wanted her and her husband to go away. I said, where do you want to go? And she said, well, I don't know. I said, well, that's the first thing you want to do, is because you don't want to pick this big dream and then go, oh, sorry, honey, we can't go on that trip because I didn't go out and work. So know where you're wanting to go, and, you know, and like get your kids involved, like Sarah said.
Mhm.
And really, you know, we bought a pool one year. We bought a bike, a motorcycle one year. We put down a down payment on a truck one year. So those were always those big months, was when we went out and got all those big things we wanted.
Absolutely.
Shop your way to the top.
And then always know what your next goal is. So when you get close to it, figure out what you want next. Otherwise, you just end up stopping and not knowing what to do next.
Yes. Continuous motion is
Yep.
vital. Continuous motion. So I guess the challenge is go do something. Go date a pizza party. It's go date a chair party. It is go date some
Go
party.
plan with your family what you're going to do to celebrate May.
Excellent. So do those two things. Plan and go date one.
And then register it tomorrow so you can win something.
That's right. We're not, Shannon, you are correct. Don't go date. Nobody go date. You're going to have a get together. Okay. Everybody go schedule a pizza get together, a chair get together, and plan your path. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. Shazam, you can stay on here, and I've got to go let the dogs out really quick.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye,
ladies.
guys. Thank you so
Bye.
much, Krista.